In this afternoon's In-Depth, we're learning about Vector Solutions. Now, that's a software service company that's providing training for the certification process of continuing education and performance management solutions to a broad range of industries all across the country. Our Chuck Henson spoke with Vector's CEO to learn more about his company.
Joining me now is Jeff Gordon. He's with Vector Solutions. Welcome, sir. We're glad you're here.
Thank you very much.
Right off the bat, tell us a little bit about Vector Solutions. What are you?
Well, Vector Solutions is a software as a service company, and what we do is we provide training both for the certification, continuing education, and then performance optimization for a variety of professionals across the country.
All right, what does that mean?
Okay, so we serve three particular markets. Public safety is a market of ours, where we're the largest provider of training, certification, continuing education for EMTs, paramedics, and firefighters, including many of the firefighters here in the area.
That is very cool. I know you mentioned in your materials that you serve heroes.
We absolutely do.
But you mean more than just firefighters and policemen, right? You're also looking at educators.
Correct.
In that line as well.
Yeah, so actually three different areas. So education, we're the largest provider of training in K through 12. Training related to child safety, both emotional and physical safety, and we train not just the teachers, but virtually everybody in the school district that interacts with those children. So hence the hero applies there. Our third business is commercial, where we train professional architects, engineers, licensed contractors, as well as industrial manufacturers that produce chemicals, power generation, and so forth. So the way we like to think about it is we serve the people that design, build, and defend the infrastructure of our society every day. So it's something we're very proud of.
Yeah, very cool. And you're based right here in Tampa, right?
Absolutely. We're headquartered here in Tampa since 1999.
Wow.
We've got facilities in San Diego, Salt Lake City, Boston, Cincinnati as well, but right here is home.
You must travel a lot.
Yes, we do. We do travel a lot, absolutely.
Now, there's some expansion on the horizon here, right? Or is it nationally?
Well, across the board. So we've just expanded our facility in San Diego. We also intend to expand here locally in Tampa. Tampa's a great market. It's a great market for talent, for attracting talent and retaining talent, and especially with all the exciting things that are happening in Tampa right now. It's an easy place to recruit to.
How many people are you employing now?
Right now we have a total across the business of about 300, of which about 120 are located here in Tampa.
And what this expansion will bring more folks on board?
Absolutely.
What's the anticipated expansion?
Well, you know, that all depends on the business and how the markets perform, but we're growing very, very rapidly. So the business has nearly doubled in 2 years since I became CEO. So I'm hopeful that we'll expand, quite substantially over the next number of years.
That's fantastic. You had mentioned recruiting qualified talent. What type of people are you looking for?
Well, we do a number of different types of things here in Tampa. Particularly at the headquarters, we do just about all the major functions. So everything from back office, HR, finance, payroll, accountancy, so forth. But also, we produce almost all of our own content. So Vector Solutions has 6,000 courses that are accredited for training all these professionals on the, really the fine details of their jobs and the criticality associated with those.
So you need experts in those fields to come to you and say, hey, I can be your person.
Exactly. So what we do is we employ the people who create the content, and we also employ a group of people who go out and scan the globe for subject matter experts so that when we're creating these courses, they're really absolutely the top of, top quality.
That's huge.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. It's very rewarding.
You've got several innovations going on within your operation. Let's talk first about the micro learning app. What is that?
Well, one of the things that we're trying to do at Vector Solutions is to reframe how people think about training. For many years, training was sort of considered a perfunctory activity. You had to do it because you had to get your license and so forth. And what we're trying to do is really re-energize the whole concept of how we interact with knowledge. And so, in addition to just providing courses that allow you to get your training and your certification and your continuing education, what we wanted to do at Vector Solutions was to break that information into small digestible pieces that could be readily accessed while you're on the job.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And
that's the micro part.
That's the micro learning. So we've taken our 6,000 courses and turned those into tens of thousands of micro learning segments that are maybe 2 or 3 minutes long. And now what that allows you to do, we just launched an app that had actually just won an industry award here a few weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Called, under one of our logos, called Red Vector Go. And what that does is it provides an app so that if I'm a technician and I'm working on some piece of equipment and I'm not sure about an electrical code or some other aspect of safety or maintenance, I can pull out my app, I can launch Red Vector Go, search it, and just see a 2 or 3 minute video that shows me, the relevant information I need.
With all of the areas that you've described that you service, on the public sector, education, all the technologies, what you're talking about here is a vast amount of knowledge that you're able to encapsulate and then break down into smaller pieces.
Absolutely.
That is an enormous job.
Yeah.
You have people whose sole function is just to bring that data
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's an exciting time. The world's changing very, very rapidly. And I like to say that I think that over the next 10 years, how we interact with the world's body of knowledge will be unlike it's ever been before. Instead of it, like when I was a kid, you'd have to go to the Encyclopedia Britannica.
I was told to go there many times.
And we all had the same book report because we all had the same things, right?
That's it.
And now what we're trying to do is, since we have the power of computing and communications bandwidth, how do we get that information to just leap into your hands when you need it in the context, the situation that you need it, so that it's becoming proactive. The knowledge is coming to you instead of you having to search for it all the time.
Now, you're also working in virtual reality, right?
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Well, I think a combination of both augmented reality and virtual reality are really critical, because it's one thing to see something on a page, but recently here, in fact, Bay News 9 had shown an effort that we have been working on with Pasco County Fire, where they're able to leverage virtual reality through one of the courses that we're creating along with them to really train and encounter activities and situations that either from a safety point of view, a logistical point of view, are just impossible to create and
unless
put somebody
you're right
in.
there.
Exactly. So virtual reality just allows you to learn and really learn in context and encounter a specific situation, and in many cases a situation that in the real world you just could never physically do.
Jeff, I've got to imagine that that's going to be the fastest growing part of your business right now, right? The virtual reality?
It will be, no doubt about it. Virtual reality, it's new. I think a lot of our customers, and one of the reasons why we have great customers, we have 8,000 businesses that we serve, 5 million end users, and one of the great things about our customers is that they're willing to help us figure out the relevancy, because there are places where it will apply, there are places where it won't. And I think the whole key to virtual reality, augmented reality, is finding where does it add the most value, and where it does, then let's jump on it, and if you don't need it, then don't do it. Right?
We talk all the time about the business atmosphere in Tampa Bay, and when you brought your business here, how welcoming was this community, and how do you find Tampa for attracting the sort of talent you need to do what you do?
It's getting better and better. If you'd asked me that question 20 years ago, I would have given you a very different answer.
Yeah.
But this is a very different Tampa. I mean, let's face it. But thank goodness for Mr. Vinnick and the Lightning and the investment that's coming into the city, and just really the re-imaging of downtown Tampa. It's become, through a lot of good work over many years, it's become a destination, all right? And so now Tampa is really up there in terms of quality of life. And increasingly we're seeing stronger and stronger education. We're seeing more and more people coming out of the local colleges that are highly qualified. And so I think Tampa is really a city on the rise. And I'm really looking forward to continuing to be able to recruit right here from our own backyard.
Well, it sounds like we're very fortunate to have you and your company here. If someone wanted to learn more, where would they go to learn more about what you do?
Let's see. Well, we're on vector-solutions.com is the easiest way to learn, and there's a ton out there, so I would encourage you to do so.
Well, congratulations to you, my friend.
All right.
This was a great.
All right. Chuck, thanks so much.